It's a wild out there question, but what year? How far away are we from a AI system being a collaborator on a proof that wins the Fields Medal? So that level.
Okay. Well, it depends on the level of collaboration. I mean,
No, like it deserves to
right.
get the Fields Medal. Like so, half
Okay.
and half.
Already, like I can imagine if it was a medal winning paper having some AI assistance in writing it. Just like the autocomplete alone is already. I use it, like it speeds up my own writing. Um, like you can have a theorem, and you have a proof, and the proof has three cases, and I write down the proof of the first case, and the autocomplete just suggests, oh, now here's how the proof of the second case could work, and like it was exactly correct. That was great. Saved me like 5-10 minutes of typing.
But in that case, the AI system doesn't get the Fields Medal.
No.
Are we talking 20 years, 50 years, 100 years? What do you think?
Okay. So I gave a prediction in print, so by 2026, which is now next year, there will be math collaborations, with the AI. So not Fields Medal winning, but like actual research level math papers.
Like published ideas that
Yeah.
are in part generated by AI.
Maybe not the ideas, but at least some of the computations, the verifications. Yeah, I mean,
Has that already happened?
Has already happened. Yeah, there are problems that were solved by a complicated process, conversing with AI to propose things, and the human goes and tries it, and the contract doesn't work. But if I propose a different idea, it's hard to disentangle exactly. There are certainly math results which could only have been accomplished because there was a human mathematician and an AI involved. But it's hard to sort of disentangle credit. I mean, these tools, they do not replicate all the skills needed to do mathematics, but they can replicate sort of some non-trivial percentage of them, 30, 40%. So they can fill in gaps. So coding is a good example. So it's annoying for me to code in Python. I'm not a native, I'm not a professional programmer. But with AI, the friction cost of doing it is much reduced. So it fills in that gap for me. AI is getting quite good at literature review. I mean, there's still a problem with hallucinating, references that don't exist. But this, I think, is a solvable problem. If you train in the right way and so forth, you can and verify, using the internet. You should in a few years get to the point where you have a lemma that you need, and say, has anyone proven this lemma before? And it will do basically a fancy web search AI assistant and say, yeah, there are these 6 papers where something similar has happened. And I mean, you can ask it right now, and it will give you 6 papers, of which maybe 1 is legitimate and relevant. 1 exists but is not relevant, and 4 are hallucinated. It has a non-zero success rate right now, but there's so much garbage, the signal to noise ratio is so poor that it's most helpful when you already somewhat know the literature, and you just need to be prompted to be reminded of a paper that was already subconsciously in your memory.
Versus helping you discover you were not even aware of, but is the correct citation.
Yeah, that it can sometimes do, but when it does, it's buried in a list of options for which the other
that are bad.
Yeah,
I mean, being able to automatically generate a related work section that is correct.
Yeah.
That's actually a beautiful thing that might be another phase shift because it assigns credit correctly.
Yeah.
It breaks you out of the silos of
No,
thought,
Yeah, no, but there's a big hump to overcome right now. I mean, it's like self-driving cars.
Right.
The safety margin has to be really high for it to be feasible. So yeah, so there's a last mile problem with a lot of AI applications that they can develop tools that work 20%, 80% of the time, but it's still not good enough. And in fact, even worse than good in some ways.
I mean, another way of asking the Fields Medal question is, what year do you think you'll wake up and be like real surprised? You read the headline, the news of something happened that AI did, like, real breakthrough, something. It doesn't, like Fields Medal, even hypothesis. It could be like really just this AlphaZero moment would go, that kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, this decade, I can see it like making a conjecture between two things that people thought was unrelated.
Oh, interesting. Generating a conjecture that's a beautiful conjecture.
Yeah, and actually has a real chance of being correct and meaningful. And
because that's actually kind of doable, I suppose. But where the data is,
yeah,
no, that would be truly amazing. Yeah.
The current models struggle a lot. I mean, so a version of this is, I mean, the physicists have a dream of getting the AIs to discover new laws of physics. You know, the dream is you just feed it all this data, okay, and it's just here's a new pattern that we didn't see before. But it actually even struggles. The current state of the art even struggles to discover old laws of physics from the data. I mean, or if it does, there's a big concern of contamination, that it did it only because like somewhere in its training data it already somehow knew, you know, Boyle's law or whatever law you're trying to reconstruct. Part of it is we don't have the right type of training data for this. Yeah, so for laws of physics, like we don't have like a million different universes with a million different laws of nature. Like a lot of what we're missing in math is actually the negative space of. So we have published things that people have been able to prove, and conjectures that ended up being verified, or maybe counterexamples produced. But we don't have data on things that were proposed, and they're kind of a good thing to try. But then people quickly realized that it was the wrong conjecture, and then they said, "Oh, but we should actually change our claim to modify it in this way to actually make it more plausible." There's a trial and error process, which is a real integral part of human mathematical discovery, which we don't record because it's embarrassing. We make mistakes, and we only like to publish our wins. And the AI has no access to this data to train on. I sometimes joke that basically AI has to go through a grad school and actually, you know, go to grad courses, do the assignments, go to office hours, make mistakes, get advice on how to correct the mistakes, and learn from that.